Beautiful to be able to sit together in an evening of heart medicine, cultivating love, compassion, and joy with metta practice with our beloved teacher, Spring Washam. This offering today goes from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. My name is Maria Cristina Tavera. All my friends call me Christina. I get to be your host today. Please reach out to me in chat at any point in time if you have tech issues or have a question. This evening, our Zoom room will be held like a sacred meditation hall, but with no walls. We will periodically shut down the chat during teachings and meditations to allow for more serenity. And we're going to ask you to please not chat the teachers during teaching times and meditation, as this might be a distraction. You can hold your questions, though, for the Q&A period at the end of the class. During Q&A, we're going to use that electronic raised hand feature down below in your Zoom. If you're not quite sure where it is, just chat me and I'll help you with that. If you prefer to be anonymous, you can send me your questions and I'll read your questions out loud. Closed captioning is on. Yay, I love when I do that. And you can control it with your own Zoom feature, turn it on and off as you need. Welcome back to those who have sat with our teacher Spring before, and welcome, deep-hearted welcome to those who are new to her gatherings. Spring Washam is a well-respected Dharma teacher, author, and visionary leader residing in Atlanta, Georgia now. Her works include the insightful A Fierce Heart, Finding Strength, Courage, and Wisdom in Any Moment, and her latest literary contribution, The Spirit of Harriet Tubman, Awakening from the Underground. As a founding teacher of the beautiful East Bay Meditation Center in Oakland, California, Spring has dedicated her life to the teachings of meditation, receiving extensive training under the guidance of Elder Jack Kornfield. She's a member of the Teachers Council at Spirit Rock Meditation Center in Northern California and has delved deeply into both Theravada and Tibetan Buddhist traditions since 1999. Spring has been teaching metta, loving kindness meditation, for many years, leading numerous metta retreats as part of her core teachings. Her approach to metta emphasizes cultivating deep compassion and loving kindness toward oneself and all beings. Through her retreats and teachings, she's guided countless individuals in practicing this transformative meditation, helping them develop emotional resilience, self-compassion, and empathy. Metta continues to be a foundational practice in her teachings, embodying her commitment to personal and collective healing. Spring's spiritual journey is enriched by her practice as a shamanic healer, having studied with Shipibo maestras in the upper Amazon region of Peru for many years. She founded Lotus Vine Journeys, an innovative organization that seamlessly integrates indigenous healing traditions with Buddhist wisdom in the heart of South America. Since 2008, she's immersed herself in various indigenous healing modalities, sharing her knowledge and insight through workshops and classes globally. Spring's teachings offer a path of inner strength, compassion, and profound transformation to all who seek her guidance. She's also the co-founder of her newest organization, Spirit Underground Liberation Project and Church, located in Atlanta, Georgia, where she now resides. Spring, bienvenida, welcome back. It's nice to have you here.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Always a technical issue right before. So, yay, welcome. I'm so happy to be with you for our first heart medicine class. So, you're at the beginning. I've cleared my schedule for the next 10 years and just to work on Tuesday night together and to cultivate these heart qualities and to be together in a community We have a lot of people signed up tonight, and I just feel so happy as people will probably be joining in. And I'll say a little bit about the class. First, I want to thank Christina for being our great hostess for this evening. And one of the things that I love about Metta, and I'm going to talk about it for a few moments, and then we're going to do the practice together. So get ready to really go in. We're going to sit for a 30-minute session and really dive into the power of the Metta practice. And this is what I want to share every Tuesday night with you all, is how transformative that this practice is. And I don't know of anything more important right now than us cultivating the heart, right? It's like, so much of the struggles and all of the drama and the suffering and the wars. I don't know what could be more important than us working on the heart, cultivating the heart. And we're going to be focusing on ourselves tonight, sending metta, and I'll kind of guide you through that whole practice. But I want to just tell you a little bit about the origin of this practice. And this practice came from the Buddha, and it was given out initially as an antidote to fear, right? The story of the Metta practice is really an interesting story where these monks had moved into this forest area, and they were going to do a 3-month retreat, a rains retreat. And there was these spirits there that did not want them there. And so they started scaring them all night long, creating all these problems. And the monks became terrified. And they went to the Buddha and they said, we can't stay in this retreat site. We're leaving. We're terrified. There's all these things happening. And so they said that the Buddha looked and he saw what was going on with his omniscient eye. And he said, don't be afraid. I will give you this practice. Go back to the forest, that area, and continue your retreat. And they began to do the practice. And then not only did they transform fear, but they also won over the spirits that were causing all the problems, right? And then those spirits started practicing. It's one of those stories that there's a happy ending at the end. But I just want to say how powerful this practice is, because what we're doing is we are training our minds and our hearts in unconditional love. And I really don't know of any other practice. When people often tell people the answer to your problem is just go love yourself, but people don't really understand how to do that. If we know how to do that, we would all be in a different situation. If we knew how to just love ourselves. But this is a real practice to cultivate unconditional love, right? Toward ourselves, toward all beings. So the practice is called one of the Brahma Viharas, which means heavenly vehicle. And that word is translated. Brahma means like divine, and Vihara means abode. So it's to have a mind filled with loving kindness truly is a sacred abode, right? When you're filled with love, you also feel great power. Of course, fear is never there when you feel love, right? You feel open, you'll go anywhere, you embrace all beings when we ourselves are rooted in this practice. So that's what we're going to be doing. And so every Tuesday night, we'll start the practice. And then after, I'll share teachings from great masters throughout time and space, teachers who embody this and tell stories and just inspire ourselves to continue to understand that love is the most powerful force in the universe. Dr. King, I'm here in Georgia, by the way. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm only a few blocks from Martin Luther King's house, from the museum. And sometimes when I'm out walking close to that on Sundays, I can hear the speeches playing for tours coming by. And so much of this work was rooted in this soul force. So in addition to bringing my Buddhist practice, I also bring the spirit of Harriet Tubman, right? As a spiritual abolitionist and as somebody who cares deeply, and as a shamanic practitioner, I believe in the power of transformation. And I also believe in the power of resonance. And when we're all doing a practice together, we create a field. And when we're present in our bodies, we create a high frequency, right? We create that loving presence within us is a higher dimension, right? On some level, it is the frequency of the heart. And I don't know of any more important beings right now. When I see a heart centered person, I don't know about you, but I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. Because so much of our culture right now is the villains are having their heyday, right? And everybody, it seems to be like villains are, they're just having a moment, right? We know nothing based on hatred and fear, right? And delusion will last. Nothing, no country, no policy, no laws, everything built on that will eventually crumble because it's not the laws of the universe, right? And so this metta is loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Those are what the Buddha called are the immeasurable qualities of the heart. And they are the qualities that we're always cultivating. And I like to imagine that metta, it's like this garden and we're constantly taking out the weeds, right? And we're planting all the beautiful flowers, the jasmine and the roses and the lilies, all the things that we want to grow. These are the qualities that the world needs right now. And we need in order to be with the great turning. As all of these systems start collapsing, what I do know is that the ground is going to have to be within your own heart and mind. Nothing outside of us is going to be able to ground us. We have to be strong in our minds, rooted in the body with this loving presence. So that's what this class is about. And that's what we're going to be working on. And that's what we're going to be focused on. And I'm just so happy that you can join me in this practice every week. And we'll sit and again, we'll have a short moment to break and then we'll have Dharma time and then there'll be some questions. And I just celebrate all of you. Thank you. Thank you to the good-hearted people in the world. Love will conquer. I mean, I don't really see that as a cliche. I see that as a great truth. When the dust settles, it'll be the good hearts that remain, out of all of this. And all we have are the seeds that we plant in love and wisdom. That is what will ripen, and that is what is our future. And so let's embody these qualities. Let's start with ourselves. I want to mention a couple things about the practice, and then we'll get started. Oftentimes people ask me, isn't just doing metta for myself selfish? Shouldn't I be focused on the people in Israel or Palestine or, Ukraine or Africa, somewhere in the world? And I always like to remind people that doing it for yourself is doing it for the world. We are the living ecosystem, right? So the more that we root down in this quality of loving ourselves, of being kind to ourselves and practicing, we are the collective, right? We are the mind, we are the cells in the mind of the great being here. So anytime you're healing yourself, you are healing the whole. So I like always to focus in the early stages of just working with our own selves to start to feel that we're opening something there, right? A connection, a sense of kindness. One could translate metta as friendliness, right? Can we be friendly with ourselves, right? Can we be loving toward ourselves? So I want to mention a couple things about the practice. Just more of how to do it for those of you that are new to the practice. And I didn't get to look in the chat window to see where everybody was from, but maybe we'll just take a moment. We can undo the chat. And just for a sec, I want to see where everyone's from. As we have people from around the world always joining on Zoom. That is what I like about it. And we could see if you want to put, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Durham, Oakland. And just saying hi to all my beautiful friends that wanted to join in on this heart medicine. as we all share together. Yes, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, welcome from everybody. A lot of Bay Area. I know it's early there, San Mateo. And to my friends that are coming in from North Carolina. Yes, some friends in Asheville. Just welcome all of you as we get ready to practice together. Yeah, welcome to my family members. I see some of my cousins on. Thank you for being here with all of us together. Okay, yes. And and we'll turn this back on even a little bit later, and we'll share together more in the chat. So let's talk about a little bit more how to do the practice as we get ready to start. So you want to find yourself in a comfortable position and metta practice. And Christina, maybe we'll just put up the phrases in the chat window. So how we do the practice is we visualize ourselves. So it's a visualization, and it's a series of 4 phrases that we say over and over and over. We say, may I be happy and peaceful, right? And we say, may I be happy and peaceful because all beings in every size, shape, anything that lives on this planet wants to be happy, right? Even the ants outside on the ground, if you try to chase them, they'll run. They have a sense of like, hey, I'm just trying to be happy here, right? I'm trying to exist. So we turn that same quality back to ourselves. May I be happy and peaceful. Even people who are doing terrible things are doing it thinking that it will lead to happiness. I think that's what's so sad about delusion is you will hurt people, ultimately hurting yourself because you're thinking, if I could just get rid of these people, if I could just get this, if I can get this or that, I'll be happy. So happiness is what we want for ourselves, but we need to know what the causes of happiness are. Right? That's very key. That's the wisdom of the Buddhist teaching is understand what leads to happiness. And metta practice leads to happiness. This is one of its core functions. So we say, may I be happy and peaceful. The second phrase that we say is, may I be safe and protected. Right? And we say this over and over, may I be safe and protected, because we protect those that we love, right? If you have children or grandchildren or your pets, you're like, well, where's my dog? Make sure your dog's okay, or your child, or the elders, right? If I have elders with me, I'm always like, okay, are you all right? Let's make sure we're safe where we're going. We tend and we protect what we love. Right? So we turn that around. May I be safe. May I be protected. The third phrase that we say in the metta practice is, may I be healthy and strong. Right? Because we always, when we have health and strength, wow, what a blessing that is. And when we love people, don't we want them to be healthy and strong? Have many teachers now getting into their late 80s, early 90s. And the first thing I ask, how's your health? And they're like, I'm strong. And I feel so happy when I hear that. It's like, oh, okay, you're healthy, you're strong. We don't want our bodies to suffer or those that we love. So may I be healthy and strong is a way actually to work with your own body, right? May my body be healthy, strong, right? This is really important for us also to kind of send loving kindness to our bodies in a culture that often we send hatred to our bodies. We view our bodies as, as unholy or something, or it's almost like it's just that so much confusion there, right? In the Buddhist tradition, our body is a supreme vehicle for awakening. So my Buddhist teachers, my Tibetan teachers just would be like, I don't understand why you guys hate the body. This is where you wake up. You've spent lifetimes trying to get here. So there's a whole different view of that. But we send love to our bodies. May my body be healthy and strong. And then the last phrase that we say is, may I live with ease and joy and well-being, right? May I live with ease with however life is at this moment. May I live with ease. And that's a powerful practice, right? May I be at ease with the ups and the downs, the impermanence. And we say these phrases over and over, and we say it while we visualize ourselves. Also, for some people that have a hard time with visualization, I ask people to put their hand on their heart or to hold their hand in some way. This is kind of like, it's a way to work more energetically, right? You put your hand on your heart so you can feel something. This is not just an energetic mind trick, right? We really want to work with feeling it as much as we can. Okay. So a lot can come up when you do metta. People get angry. It's a purification practice. So sometimes anger arises, sadness arises, or a deep sense of numbness. And I'll say more about that during the Dharma talk about what exactly the heart practices purify. So we just come back, the mind wanders, we bring it back. We just imagine you're just like a farmer and you have this beautiful piece of land and you're just planting the seeds into it. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong. May I live with ease and joy and well-being, right? So we just start to say these words over and over. We visualize ourselves. You can visualize yourself in this moment, right? As if you're looking in a mirror. Or maybe you have a favorite photo on your phone or online or on your refrigerator of yourself. Or even for a lot of people, I encourage them to visualize yourself as a small child, right? It's very hard to feel angry at your child self, right? You see yourself at 5 years old and you just see beauty, right? It's like, right, precious. So this is what we're trying to evoke, that sense of feeling that we are our own preciousness, right? That we can send this friendliness imagine as if Kuan Yin is with you, right? How would Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, see you, right? With this love, with this, or God in any of its manifestations, right? In any way that you see it, right? So we're looking at each other from the highest view, and as we do it, that's how we begin to heal the rift that we feel with ourselves. As without, above and below, when we start to love ourselves, right? We will feel safe in the world, right? We'll be less fearful, right? And this is what we need right now, is an antidote to terror, to fear and uncertainty, to root in the heart, and also the frequency of the collective. So we do it for ourselves, and that impacts the collective. Okay, my friends. So let's start getting down to it. You came to do the heart medicine, right? And you've got to take your medicine for the next 30 minutes. Try not to give up on yourself. You might start feeling like, I'm going crazy. I can't do it. You just, may I be happy and peaceful. May I be, and you just come back, right? So I'll do some guidance a little bit. We'll sit quietly. But for the most part, I'll be with you. I'll be practicing. I brought a microphone out tonight just because sometimes when I'm practicing, people say my voice disappears because I'm really doing it with you, right? So I sometimes forget, oh, wait, I'm on camera or I'm teaching in the middle of a group. This is my most cherished practice. So with that, let yourself get comfortable. If you're sitting up, try to just don't do it in a position where you're going to fall asleep though, right? Because meditation and sleepiness for a lot of people, it happens. So just find a place where you can rest comfortably. Okay, so let's just begin by closing our eyes. And just take a deep breath here and allow yourself to just begin to settle. And I always like to tell people, imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing in kindness on the inhale. And then you're breathing out kindness on the exhale. And as you do this, let's start with just a little body scan just to relax. So relax your head as you're breathing. Let your shoulders be soft. Relax your shoulders. And if you need to move your neck and your head around a little bit, we want you to bring your full presence into your body. The heart is in the body. We always live in our head, but we're moving our center of awareness deep into the body now. So relax your arms and your hands and just notice how your hands are placed. Now bring your awareness into the center of the heart and just take some deep breaths. Breathing in compassion on the inhale, and imagine your heart is just, you're breathing through the heart center. And you're breathing out. And now bring your attention to your belly. And we're going to do some deep belly breaths right under the belly button. Take a deep inhale and exhale and let your whole nervous system settle with the inhale through the belly. Let the belly be soft. And then exhale. And let your whole belly expand. Any tightness, see if you can relax. Feel your sitting bones on the chair. Feel your legs and your feet. And then as we relax together, let the whole body just soften, right? We're just breathing in kindness and breathing out kindness. And now as you begin to center your awareness in the heart area, which is often in the chakra energy system depicted as green, always growing. The heart is infinite, intelligent, and wise. And so let's really attune to that energy within ourselves. We sort of activate it by our presence. The heart has its own language, its own brain, they've discovered. And it has powerful medicine for healing our emotions and our bodies. And so let's begin to visualize ourselves in this moment. And again, I want to encourage you, even though it might seem awkward, is to maybe consider putting your hand on your heart or holding your left hand in your right hand as just a gesture so that this living body feels the support. It responds to love and kindness. And allow your nervous system to just keep settling with each deep inhale and exhale. And we'll begin to say the phrases of the metta as you hold yourself in your awareness and just see yourself smiling. Or just seeing yourself in this moment and just offering a bow. as you greet yourself arriving at your own door. It helps in the metta practice to say your name, or if you have a nickname. And with each phrase, we might say it, to you, dear one, may I be happy and peaceful. And begin to just to say the phrases slowly. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And so with each phrase, you might take a breath, but try to stay connected to the image of yourself as if each word, each phrase is this prayer, it's an offering. And softening the body. Notice if there's tension and just allow it to soften. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And if the mind wanders, just keep coming back. And on your own for a little bit now, as we sit together, holding this image of ourselves and really wishing, may I be happy. May I be peaceful. Say your name if that helps over and over. Take your time. Each phrase is different. over and over. Come back again and again to the heart, to your body. And may I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well being. And stay connected to your phrases and the image of yourself. Try to keep the phrases going. If the mind wanders, just come back, begin again. You can always just begin again. You can use the self as a child, the image of your small self, if that feels connective. Or you could say to the image of yourself, may you be happy and peaceful. If that feels more natural to you. May you, dear one, be safe and protected. May you be healthy and strong in this body. And may you live with ease and joy and well-being. And just sending friendliness. Each phrase imbued with care. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. Wherever I go in this world, may I be safe. May I be healthy and strong in this body. So breathing metta into every cell of your body. May this body be healthy and strong. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. And seeing yourself through the eyes of Kuan Yin, the mother of compassion. Stay connected as best you can to the image of yourself, to your hand on your heart, and to the kind words you are saying. Over and over, the metta phrases. We say them again and again. A few more moments left here. Breathing through the heart, relaxing the body, softening. And for the last couple of moments here, I want you just to expand the field of your metta to include all of those who are a part of your family and your community. And we say, may my family and my community be happy and peaceful. And just emanate some of this metta out, including them, see their faces. May our families and our communities be happy and peaceful. May they be safe and protected. May our communities be healthy and strong. And our families living with ease and joy and well-being. And just expanding to your neighbors and the people you work with, and all the people, the beautiful faces and beings on this call tonight as part of this Sangha. We offer metta. May we all be happy and peaceful. May we all be safe and protected. And may we all live with ease and joy. May we all be healthy, strong. And just breathing that prayer deep, that wish, wishing all beings everywhere, all of creation, the earth, the animals, may all of existence be happy and peaceful. May the earth be safe and protected. May all beings be healthy and strong. And may the whole universe live with ease and joy and well-being. And as we take a deep breath in, breathing in the metta through every pore, compassion and love and care. And then we breathe it out, filling our bodies, doing the best we can. And as we end our practice, I always like to put my hands together in prayer position at the heart and just do a bow to myself, often bow to love, the power, the highest power in the universe. I bow to soul force and all the benevolent beings who are practicing metta, who live imbued with metta, who train their hearts and minds in this metta practice. And bow to ourselves for our practice tonight, no matter how it was, we bow anyway. Let me give thanks. Okay, beautiful Sangha. That was a good one. I could have kept going with you all. Then you would have been in the chat window going, is she done yet? Oh, but it just really does feel like medicine when we practice. So just take a moment here if you need to stretch your body a little bit. And we're going to share a few things here. And then I would love to get some of your feedback, but just sending everybody so much love from all over. Thank you for doing this with us. The more you practice, the more these seeds grow in you. It's a transformative thing. If it's like anything that you do, you have to remember that everything we do is a practice. We practice generating love. We consciously turn on the light, right? In a world where everyone's swimming this way, we're going this way. And sometimes it takes some effort, right? We have to effort a little bit, right? Come back to ourselves, come back over and over. So the metta practice is very intentional in that way, right? We plant the seeds over and over. We say, may I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and joy. And so, as a few things that I want to share with you all before we do a little bit of the Q&A is I want to just talk about how metta is the purification practice, right? So I'm here, I have Kuan Yin behind me, the Buddha of compassion, Tanka, and this is my altar. That's where I sit and do my own practice every day. I try to practice these qualities of the heart, these core qualities of metta, and metta, they call it one of the immeasurables because there's no end to it. And when I teach metta retreats, I used to teach a lot at Spirit Rock. I used to teach 2 a year. And I have taught this, and it's amazing how over time, when we would do these metta retreats, I've even taught it to teenagers, even small children know the power of this. They recognize it. Children especially get it right away. They're like, oh, love all things. Okay. And then you take them outside and there's the caterpillar and there's the tree. It's so natural, right? But it's like the bitterness of life, right? It wears us down and our hearts get blocked, right? We become afraid. The biggest hindrance I feel on our planet right now, and this is when I work with people in ceremonies or they come on retreats with me, the collective frequency that we have to work through is this fear and terror. Because when that happens, it's like the heart contracts, right? We don't give it any space. We're too scared to allow ourselves to feel the energy of the heart, right? So we shut down in fear, and then anger, it follows after that. But the thing about your heart is that they discovered the organization. Somebody was, I think my friend Crystal is on here from San Mateo. There's an organization called Heart Math. And it's made up of a lot of cardiologists and neuroscientists, and they've been studying the resonance of the heart. And just like they've discovered that the gut has a brain, the heart has its own brain. Okay. It's much higher than this one. And our minds are insane most of the time, right? They're just like, my mind, like, da, 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 da. But what I do is I drop down into my heart, and the heart has deep roots, right? So when things start to get hectic and things are going to be collapsing, everybody, we are fully entering into this portal now of shifting consciousness. And everything that is a system that we've depended on, it may not be there as it goes through this catalytic shift, right? And so with that, it can bring up a lot of fear. But what we have to do is keep rooting in the heart. I bring everything down. My mind can't conceive of the madness right now or the things that people are doing to one another. So I don't hold it in my mind. I can't. My mind is a child, right? But my heart, okay, now we're talking, right? Now the heart has deep roots. So you can literally bring everything into the heart and let your heart hold it. Heart, please hold these wars, hold this hatred, hold all the madness, right, in the heart. And the heart can absorb it. It can breathe in, it can breathe out because it has a brain. It understands this type of suffering in a way that my mind can't conceive of it. And also, why I'm teaching metta practice, and this will be my whole teaching for the next couple of years, is because if we are not anchored in the heart, in love, many people will not be able to tolerate this shift in consciousness that's happening. If you're not rooted to a higher source, if you're not rooted to unconditional love, you will go mad with what's being amplified. We're already going mad. I mean, if I listen to it for 5 minutes, I'm like, this is so bad. The news and all the little talk radio and all the pundits and all, it's like, it's so painful. Right. But that's part of like the last gasp of like right before a system turns, it goes into chaos. Are we not in chaos? We're coming up into chaos here, and political systems are the driving force of a lot of systems. And when those start breaking down, everything starts to feel unstable. So what I'm sharing with you with the heart medicine is you got to cultivate this. And that what gives us ground. Harriet Tubman, fierce heart, right? She knew how to get through the Civil War. She was a warrior in the Civil War, right? Massive catalytic change, massive systems collapsing. But when one has their heart resonating, they become courageous. Not only do you become less afraid, right? You become courageous. And the heart has a lot of courage. And we just have to begin to tap into it. And we do that by doing the metta practice. So I want to mention also to you a couple of things about it, how it purifies. In the text, in the Buddhist tradition, they talk about metta as being one of the most powerful purification practices. Okay, so how does it purify? So it's like, you have your heart, and then sometimes metta can be really challenging because the first level of purification that happens with metta is anger, right? So you sit down, you're going, oh, this will be so great. I'll send myself love for 30 minutes. And then all hell breaks loose in your mind. Like, you'll never be happy. I hate this metta. On metta retreats, I used to go into these metta retreats like, oh, right. People would be going to the hospital for saying their heart's hurting. They need to the managers would take people to Marin General. When I was at Spirit Rock, people would be throwing up. People would be having cough attacks all over the meditation hall. People, and a lot of people would come, and on the second day of doing metta, they would be in these rages, and then they would come in to see me, and I'd be like, this is great. They'd be like, great. What do you mean? I hate everybody here. I hate everything. I'd be like, this is great. This is what is obstructing. Right. So you try to open, if you want to do a heart practice, what's going to happen is all this anger can sometimes at moments come up to be purified. And the most intense is the anger and judgment we have with ourselves, right? We're the hardest on ourselves, right? We're way harder than other beings, our own criticism. So a lot of this can come up and it can be hard. So metta purifies hatred. Right. So we start with ourselves. We start to feel it. The metta can get strong. This is not for everybody, but a lot of you will encounter that first level of purification. The second thing that happens when we do metta practice is sometimes it can bring up a lot of sorrow and sadness. Oh my gosh, this was me. I was less angry and more sad because it was like, as I do the practice, oceans of tears would just pour out of my eyes. It was a river of sorrows. And it was like the iceberg was melting. When you grow up like I did, I had so much trauma, right? I didn't have parents who were loving, they were traumatized. And so when I was sending this love to myself, it was like, I don't even understand what this is. It kind of was like broke my heart open. But that's a good thing. But it can, sometimes people do metta and they go, I don't know. I just start weeping and weeping. And I say, keep going. right? It's like a phase of purification. It's like we're learning how to abide in the frequency of unconditional love. Metta is unconditional. It's like the sun. It shines on everybody. It doesn't go you, not you, you. No, it's like this light. It's like the sun shining on everyone, right? And so this unconditional love that we start to feel toward ourselves, we can sometimes feel unworthy of our own love and it breaks our heart. And so there's a tenderness when we get deep into the practice, we start hitting these walls. And sometimes it produces oceans of tears. Tears may fall. You might feel that. So don't shy away from either one of these, the anger or the sorrow. This is just when it starts to come up, just notice that, like, oh, wow, I'm feeling this sadness, or I'm feeling this irritation, or this like low level, like, sometimes it can get really intense. So just know, oh, great, I'm purifying. It's not always pleasant, but this doesn't always come up, but it can, everybody. I just want to put that out there that it could come up. The third thing that the practice also purifies is probably for me, what is the most scary is this pervasive numbness that people have, that I have, that people report they don't feel anything. And I would have people often, when I was leading long metta retreats on days 2, day 3, day 4, they would say, I feel nothing for myself. I feel nothing. And they would often describe like almost like a shield or metal around their body. They could actually feel the block, right? A little bit. They would feel this like barricade. And why I say that's the most dangerous is because if we don't feel our heart, we'll make a lot of decisions that will hurt other people, right? And ultimately hurt ourselves because we're not feeling ourselves. We're not feeling that resonance or that compassion. That's how people can destroy other beings. I mean, it just shocks me how people can even yell at other people or hurt them. It's like, oh my God, I would hurt my own heart so much. Even hurting bugs on the ground, I feel this like, I immediately respond to it, so I know I'm very sensitive, and in the South, they call it tender-hearted. She's tender-hearted. My grandma used to say that. Like I had a disease. She's a tender-hearted one, and I'd be like, I am, because I feel it, I feel these things. So we have to get used to when we're doing heart medicine work that we are going to start feeling connection, right? Feeling connected to ourselves. And when we listen to our own heart, it's like we're following the right path. The heart's like, I'm trying to lead you home, right? But we get in this battle between what? Head and heart. This is the longest journey of our lives, right? And so it's really important that when people are in their mind, they're often hurting other people, right? And you could feel it, can't you? When we say, wow, that person lives in their head, that's not a compliment often. It's like, it's a nice way of saying, I don't feel any connection that they're in their heart, they're in their body, right? And when we're in our heart, we are in our body, right? So these are practices that take us back into this way of relating with the heart. Heart math has discovered all kinds of things about the heart. The heart actually knows when an accident's going to happen before it happens. Like I felt those hurricanes coming to Florida. I was like, oh my God, my body was reacting. Some people who have a lot of like I don't want to say, but just energy. We understand things before they happen. I'm one of those kind of people. I can feel things before they happen, right? It's part of my healing, I guess, gifts or whatever, you want to call it. I wouldn't say clairvoyance, but it's like my body reacts to things before they happen all the time. Well, what they discovered that at Heart Math, that organization, the heart can feel something before it happens. It has a higher intelligence. So I just want to, as we get into this every week, everybody, we're going to be practicing this, giving ourselves this heart medicine allowing that medicine to come forward. And every time we do this, we affect the collective. We hold a frequency. People with big hearts, they can move through a room and fill it up. And we feel that energy like it's like a warm fire. My teacher, Jack Cornfield, is like that. When I was very young in my early 20s, remember he was giving a Dharma talk on my very first retreat. That was like 30 years ago. And I remember sitting there in his words, I was like in a cozy blanket by a fire. And he has this huge heart, right? But just the words of love alone, when they're going out into the world, they are way more powerful than all this madness and hatred right now. There is a higher power other than what is happening right now. And that is this soul force. This is the universal. This is just a cycle. This is an impermanent thing, but let's be rooted in that power, everybody. Let's practice. You can practice metta anytime before you go to sleep. You can do it while you're at the grocery store, while you're driving your car. I will be making these recorded videos online. You'll be able to hit replay and just listen to the 30 minutes. I really want to be sitting every week doing these practices because the heart is being overshadowed right now, but it's only because we haven't activated it fully. And so let's do that collectively, go globally. And I just want to thank you all for practicing. And, I could talk about this forever and I could share so many stories of so many journeys from the jungle to meditation centers about heart openings, the power of the heart. But I want to stop here and yes, move into some questions and answers. And I hope this was helpful for all of you. And I want to see if anyone has any comments or anyone has a question about the practice and how, and again, I'm going to be unfolding these practices every week and building on it. And we can keep growing together, community. This is your medicine. So mark your time. So I see Shelly.